What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long while to upload any type of content. Do apologize for that. Reason being is been a change of plans. We'll be kind of like postponing content for cars or any tool related, and we'll be getting into more like fitness, gym life. I would say, in my opinion, I want to try out something new. As you can see over here, this is kind of like an introduction to obviously the first episode or in my channel, or the first obviously introduction to me to strongman training. Kind of like a background history on me is I started originally kind of like about 17 years old, around there, kind of like bodybuilding, which is alright. You know, like it was an introduction, kind of lifting weights and all that, getting in shape. Getting back to probably about around 20 years old, around like 5 years ago when I came to UK, I wanted to train a little bit more like strength training, so I got into like powerlifting, and then the last 3 years more into like power building because I want to keep up a little bit more in shape. All nice, well, like it was cool. I still like love powerlifting and power building. You know, not anything against that. But wanted to do a little bit something different, which kind of like got me into strongman training. A lot of people that I follow on YouTube, one of them is Brian Oswald. Like, shout out to him, guy's a legend. In terms of like strongman training compared to like powerlifting or like any other strength training, you know, powerlifting is kind of like obviously your dead, squat and bench, which is all well and good obviously to build strength, like really helpful exercises to build strength. But in terms of like functional strength in real life, like whether you're like at home and then you want to pick something up, like a couch you want to move, or some heavy boxes because you're moving places and all that, it doesn't really, you know, it's not really similar as like a barbell as you would deadlift, or you know, like something you're gonna pick up from the ground and then squat it and then lift it up, and then kind of like that scenario, which, you know, you build the strength but not in that type of scenario, which is like more of a daily life kind of like thing, especially, you know, if you're doing any labor work and anything of that nature. So for me it made more sense to like get into more strongman stuff. One, because of that reason. Two, I think it's because it's a little bit more wild rather than your normal powerlifting, and then it brings more excitement to the game for me personally. But I did want to make it into like a kind of like a budget video, I would say, or like budget series, because I know like not all people got the same resources or the money to obviously invest in different types of equipment. So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Obviously, kind of like concentrating on strength and conditioning, which are vital stuff in strongman training, because it's not just about being strong, it's obviously been about being conditioning to be able to lift heavy stuff and then carry them around. So starting off, as you can see over here, I'm doing my sandbag training over here. This is kind of like one of Brian's programs that I did purchase, because it does include sandbag training, which is kind of like I think 60 exercises or something like that. Really awesome, like, you know, getting the hang of it. Obviously I'm struggling in this video a little bit, as you can see, because my background being in powerlifting, kind of like the rest times and all that, I'm not really used to this type of training, so trying to get the hang of it. Why sandbags? Kind of like beginning with sandbags because one is cheap, pretty much is a sand and a bag. Sand's pretty cheap to get. Sandbags, or like the bags obviously you can put the sand in, they can be a little bit pricey if you were to get them like brand new. I would recommend to, like, you can look around for like used ones, obviously in good condition, and then you can get away with them. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, sell them up on eBay and stuff, which I did purchase personally. Simplicity obviously of the equipment, sandbag, like nothing to it. You can make your own sandbags from like, I don't know, like duffel bags or something like that, which is, you know, okay, it can get the job done. But kind of like in terms of like long term, you know, it'd be alright if you planning to like train long term with sandbags. The quality of the bag on these, like for instance like this Cerberus bag over here, kind of like it's a little bit more better quality that will withstand kind of like the time and all the beating with your training. Obviously, you know, whatever bag you choose, if you do drop it on something sharp like a piece of metal, it possibly is going to tear, so, you know, be aware. As for this exercise, this is kind of like one of the exercises from the sandbag, kind of like 60 sandbag sessions from Brian's program. This is kind of like pretty much, as you can see over here, is basically a flip, then a 50-meter like carry, and then again another flip over shoulder. The distance between from obviously when I go and I come back and then, you know, start in position and end position, it's about 7.5 meters. So, you know, going backwards and forwards, it's about 15 meters, give or take. So I would say pretty much about 50 feet distance. Main reason, obviously, or the main goals of this training is obviously strength, as you can see, picking something heavy, but it does include conditioning as well, because it does obviously, you can see like obviously carrying the load to like a distance, and the rest period it should be about a minute. If I do recall correct, I think on the program it's kind of like every minute on the minute, so kind of like the lift starts as the clock starts, you finish the lift. If you finish the lift sooner than kind of like, let's say within 30 seconds, then you get like a 30-second rest. Obviously if you finish like, you know, like 45 seconds, you only get like 15-second rest. I mean, I try to keep up with the clock. Obviously the clock I downloaded an app of the clock kind of like as a timer to like, you know, have it with my workout, kind of like trying to get hang of it, and then kind of like not really at the best. Obviously, like I mentioned, my rest time with previous type of training like powerlifting and all that was like 2-3 minutes easy, whereas here it's like, you know, anything from half a minute to probably max a minute, something like that. So really pushing it over here in terms of like new boundaries and all that, trying to develop more conditioning for my body while trying to obviously, you know, build strength as well. Pretty much that was the video, guys. Kind of like, I hope this is helpful to anyone. Obviously I will be making more videos, you know, covering up more sandbag trainings and all that. Obviously, you know, new equipment and all that, things that I would personally buy or create to that help with strongman or strength training, but obviously being on the budget. That was the video, guys. If you like the videos, give it a thumbs up. I would like to hear on the comments below what you guys think, and I appreciate you for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see ya on the next one.